let's dig deeper into this. Tom, how much time you got?
I've got at least another 15 minutes or so.
Nicole, how much time you got?
Maybe like 5 minutes.
Anything you want to share, Nicole? Or thoughts, questions?
Yeah, I like that you walked through this today. I see how it would really actually benefit what Emily and I are doing.
Right?
And going through this.
Like, watch this. This is like magical. Number 2 is mortgages. Why? Well, that's where, I kind of grew up. That's where I know, have a lot of connections into it. Ski, Paul, Don, there's a lot of, Randy, there's a lot of people I know in the mortgage, and so that's going to be my number 2 focus. Number 3 is going to be real estate. Know a lot about real estate. Started investing when I was 15 into real estate. Know Tom. There's a lot of people that we know. So those are the top 3. 4 and 5 are architects and builders in the trades. And that's because of Life Masteries and Tanglewood's partnership. So there's a whole bunch of opportunities that are going to come up there. Any architect or builder or anyone in the trades that own their own company, if I go ahead and if I get them on Action Vision, I'll just build Tanglewood right into their Action Vision plan and coach them. The amount of influence that we have on somebody that first year especially is just massive. And so they can help us, we can help them, and together we can accomplish a whole lot more. Then number 6 is going to be associations and chambers. Why? Done a lot of work with associations, some with chambers. It's a longer sales cycle, so you got to have more systems in place. It's a longer sales cycle. It's like hunting for whales versus, fishing for bluegill or salmon. So you got to have more systems to do that. Number 7 is women. And so there's 3.7 roughly billion women in the world. Love women like crazy. So I have an amazing wife, 4 amazing daughters, a daughter-in-law, 3 granddaughters. So I have a real passion for impacting women in the most amazing way. So definitely want to go ahead and bring a lot of value to them. And then organizations, so my dad, he was a pastor, so I grew up as a pastor's missionaries kid, and so CPN, Christian Professional Network, and I don't really care what religion, any spiritual, any religion, any community-based organizations, I can help them, they can help me. Together we can do a lot more than we ever could on our own. So that's number 8. So CPN has over 100,000 pastors and churches in their database. And so they could really benefit from the psychology of people there. And then automotive is number 9. You might, and so that's Peter Miles, past board member of BMW, past president of Rolls-Royce. So you might ask, why is that number 9? Well, this is interesting. There's a little movement here. I don't know if you noticed this from, Psychology of People when it went in. But in Ford versus Ferrari, I learned so much from that. And in that movie, they call them the suits. And so the people on the right, you'll notice, more on the right, the automotive organizations, associations, manufacturing, government, medical, insurance, these tend to be all big. My son-in-law is involved in a project titled, it's a book, it'll be a whole series and workshops and events and stuff. It's The Art of Seduction of the Masses. And so, so big is hard. Ford is big. Ferrari, their artist, Ford is big. And so the automotive industry and associations and organizations, churches, bless their hearts, it's all big now. And so they think they know what they're doing, and so it's very hard to get into anything big. So you got to have an inside track, and even then, like Peter went ahead, and I can't wait for Peter to listen to this. Make sure you guys encourage him to do so. I was talking to him last week, and I said, hey, Peter, I don't know, we were talking about something, and he has 250 people in his database of similar level. And I said to him, social autism kicked in. I said, hey, I don't know if I want to have access to anybody in your network, actually. And he laughed, and he's like, what? I said, yeah, I don't know if I want. Why? Well, and I didn't understand until I watched Ford versus Ferrari. Tom, have you seen Ford versus Ferrari yet?
No, but I got to figure out where it's at and go watch it.
Yeah. You'll
pick it up somewhere.
Yeah, you'll go ahead, and it's almost out of the theater, so you'll want to get it in the theaters as soon as you can. But they talk about the suits.
Yeah, the upper people.
Yeah, and so the suits, I don't. I worked with them when I was younger, in my 20s, and I said, yeah, I don't want to work with the suits. I just don't. And so the automotive industry, I don't know. I don't know. Like Tom has said many times, the disruption comes from outside the industry. And the automotive industry is going through a lot of disruption right now, big time. Big time. So I love this picture. Like, these are the guys that run the race, that win the race. And you don't see suits here. These are guys I like to hang out with. Let's get underneath that hood. Let's find out what's going on here, why it's going on. These are guys I want. So the suits, I don't know. I just struggle some with hanging around the suits. I'm more interested in let's get in and run the race. Let's go ahead and make this, cut the politics out. Let's go ahead and impact people's lives. Let's go ahead and do a lot of business. Let's make a lot of money. Let's give a lot of money away. Let's do some amazing things together. And that's really what Learn to Earn, is all about. So when we look at this and connecting all of these things together, it's quantum thinking. And so I'm going to contract. So I'm contracting with 11 EVA companies right now. So I'm going to, and they've got the systems. There's been millions and millions of dollars invested by Life Masteries and some very generous people like Alan and Nancy from Tanglewood Conservatories. So appreciative of what they've done for Life Masteries. And so these systems, and so I'm going to contract with EVAs. They're going to take these industries and they're going to go ahead and pursue them all. So this is why it gives me the ability to go after all of these industries almost simultaneously. Like everything's being lined up, so when you look at the GTing it, when you look at GTing it and all that we talked about in the psychology of people, this is the application of it. So somebody goes through the course, leverage, and they go through the psychology of people, and they don't get involved in Learn to Earn. I don't know what to say. I won't say it because it's the year of caring, but it might be something close to what Tom said at the beginning. And so this really summarizes, everything. So it connects it all together and brings it all together. So when you leverage all of this, when you apply psychology of people to all of this, you can want more. You'll have less obstacles. You'll have less that you have to sacrifice. decisions will be far easier, and the do will be far easier too. Tom, what do you think?
I like it.
Nicole, questions or thoughts?
No, I'm good.
Matthew, questions or thoughts?
It's a completely different way, I think, of seeing the 530 grid. When I looked at these white papers, I'm like, wow, that's a whole different way of seeing it. A way I didn't think about it before, that I'm like, I really have to go back and look at this and say, did I really even understand what it was all trying to tell me? And I'm probably going to come to the answer of no.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And this is where, when you leverage, other people's WIFM, when you leverage other people's consistency plus commitment, when you leverage other people's drive and discipline cubed, when you leverage other people's communication, when you leverage other people's self-vaporization, when you leverage other people being best students in the world and everything, when you bring that together, the name of the company I've been blessed with for 29 years is Synergy. And that's a very popular word now in business, but 29 years ago, nobody knew what it was, but my dad had quite a vocabulary when I grew up. And so Synergy is it's the combination, where the combination of the parts produce more together than any of the individual parts could ever produce on their own, which connects back into my life vision. And so when you really internalize all of this, it's just crazy. Rosanna, questions, thoughts?
I would say that it could be nice to be following you throughout the week so I can see how to do this.
How's it coming on that business sense from Everyday Mom that Tom's, asked to go ahead and get?
Well, according to my goals, it'll be done by the end of the year.
Huh. Interesting.
Why is it interesting?
Tom, what do you think about that?
Why? Why is it taking so long?
Many different avenues I'm following at the same time.
What do you need to make it take less time?
Probably more focus on one thing versus many things. It's a little hard to figure out where I'm at on that.
So the key is, everyone, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, but you can put salt in the oats. Would you guys like to see that done now?
Yes.
Okay. You guys all ready for it?
No.
You're a brave man, Mark. That's all I got to say.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tom. See, Tom.
You need to go out and live with Tom.
Wow. That hashtag Mark unkind. Although I'm sure Tom would be more than happy, and Donna would be more than happy if I came and lived with them. I'm sure that would be the case. Okay. No. This is the year of caring. Watch the magic happen. This is the new Mark, Tom. You'll just be amazed by it. So, couple simple questions. 1 to 10, Rosanna, how much did you enjoy Hawaii?
A 10.
And is there any place in the world that you would like to go more than Hawaii?
Yeah, there's a couple places.
Like, what would be one of the places you'd like to go, more than Hawaii?
Oh, Paris, Italy.
Okay. She's like her grandchildren. What's one place? Paris, Italy. I thought I said one. Okay, two. So, Tom, have you ever been to Paris or Italy?
Yeah, both.
Did you enjoy them?
Yeah.
Do you think that Rosanna would enjoy them?
Absolutely. I don't know of any woman who would not enjoy it.
Oh, okay. So, Rosanna, if we went ahead and said that, that you would go to Paris and Italy after the book would be done, how quickly do you think the book would be done?
Probably a lot sooner.
Can you be a little more specific on that?
Probably in half the time.
6 months.
Yeah.
Okay. June, Tom, is that a good time to go to Paris and Italy, or do you know?
I'd say the months I usually like to go to those places are usually August, September.
Okay. So I'll go with June, and then so that way it's 6 months. So does anyone have any? So Rosanna, are you going to have the book finished by June so you can go to Paris and Italy by June?
Sure.
Does anyone have any questions for myself or for Rosanna?
You better be booking those tickets.
Because?
Well, if she's anything like Donna, you throw Italy or Paris in front of her, Katie bars the door.
Okay, so you were saying Rosanna ought to book the tickets.
No, you're the one that's going to buy them.
What would lead you to believe this, Tom? This is where Tom was seeing the courageousness. He knew it was going to come out eventually. What would lead you to believe that I would be buying the tickets, Tom?
Two things. My past history with wives, and I mean that plurally, and yeah, that's enough.
Okay. And so you think I treat my wife like most men treat their wives?
I think your wife treats you like most wives treat husbands.
And how is that, Tom?
You're going to buy the ticket.
Rosanna, do you agree with Tom?
No. No. Not exactly.
So our youngest...
What? Just remember when you were, a few seconds ago, you were talking about being played?
Yeah.
Not you, Mark.
I was
that
being...
statement just told me that Mark just got played.
Really? How do you mean that, Tom?
By giving in and saying, no, not really. I mean, just the tone of voice. No, not really. I'll probably be buying them with his money.
Well, can't she make money off of business sense from everyday moms?
Yeah, and my wife has a job, too. And you know how much money I see from that job? Now, I know she's saving it and investing it for us, but you know how much I see out of that when she hands me a set of bills and says, these are some things that I had to get?
So if you're listening to the rebroadcast of it, this is going to be fun because Tim, who's, now 18, Tom mentored him for, 3, 4, 5 years. And Tim said at the age of 9 or 12, he said, Dad, I don't know if I'm going to really listen to you about this and this. I forget what it was. And I said, why? And he's like, because you don't hit your goals. I'm like, excuse me? like what? He's like, yeah, you don't hit your goals. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you know, Dad, when we were, I was 9, so that was 3 years earlier. When I was 9, Dad, we set a goal to go to Thailand to rescue girls from being trafficked. And I'm like, yeah, I remember that. And he's like, well, we never went. And I'm like, uh-huh. He said, you didn't hit your goal. I said, well, that was kind of your goal, buddy. Did you do any work to achieve that goal? He's like, well, no. And I'm like, how can you live with your father for 9 years and think that you're going to go ahead and achieve a goal without you doing the work? So all 7 of my kids, if they want to go to college, they go ahead and pay for their own college. If they want a car, they pay for their own car. If they want an Xbox, if they want anything, they pay for it. Now, obviously, I love my wife as much as I do my kids. Why would I not give her, because this is the year of caring? If I went ahead and paid for that, Tom, that would not be a caring thing to do. Would you agree with that, Tom?
Probably so.
So, again, if it wasn't the year of caring, I would pay for it. But this year, I have to be caring, so she's going to have to pay for it. Not only does she have to pay for hers, but she's going to have to pay for mine. She's going to pay for the whole trip, Tom. Isn't that cool?
Out of the funds from the book?
Uh-huh. Well, actually, the book... Actually, it's not the book that she's going to make the funds because, who's the guy? Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul. He goes ahead and says, you don't make money selling the book, you make money telling people about, what's in the book. So because she has 7 kids, because 4 out of the 7 own their own company, their companies, people are going to go ahead and revere her and think that she knows what she's talking about. And so women and men are both going to go ahead, and she'll do a seminar, potentially a webinar, and then a 7-lesson series on that topic, potentially in 2 to 3 months. And so she'll be able to earn far, far more to pay for the trip than what she goes ahead and comes in. So if you guys all watch what she does, you'll see something magical happen. And Bev's going to help her too, Tom.
Oh, wow.
Because Bev's goal...
Rosanna, all I have to say is put your track shoes on. I've worked with Beth. There is no, that woman does not know slow or just normal or even fast.
Yeah, so one of Bev's passions is to help women become economically independent of men, so they're not dependent upon men, help women become economically independent through real estate. And so yeah. And I don't know if you heard Bev's story about when she worked for, I think it was AT&T in corporate, and she just came back from pregnancy leave. Did you hear that story? So
I'm not sure. Go ahead.
So she had a PowerPoint presentation, and I don't know, 20, 30, 40 of her peers and other people were in the room. And she had a PowerPoint presentation, and there was a comma in the PowerPoint presentation. This was when she was probably in her, I don't know, 20s or 30s or something. And she had a comma in her PowerPoint presentation that her boss didn't think should be there. And he shredded her in front of everybody and said, you know what, Bev, you're pathetic. I can't believe it. You know, we didn't pay you to go ahead and go on maternity leave. We're not paying for the baby. I mean, get your stuff together and stop screwing up. Like, right in front of everybody.
I don't know how she reacted there, but I know how she would have reacted if I'd have done that.
She just absorbed it. I mean, she just absorbed it.
That wouldn't have been the case when I knew her, when I hired her.
Yeah, she's succeeded in business
she is, without a doubt, probably the top 2 or 3 women that I've ever met in my life.
Yeah. So again, it's all about leverage, and so it's understanding. So there's so many women out there that want to be successful. There's other women that have been successful, but they have a hard time. Another terrible but great movie is Bombshell. And Roseanne and I went and saw that one soon after Ford versus Ferrari. And there's just this, there's all this momentum. And there's things that Bev knows, there's things that you know, Tom, there's things I know, there's things Rosanna knows, there's things Matthew knows, and Elise knows, and Nicole, and all, Peter, that we can help young women be phenomenally successful in business. We can help women be successful in business, but they need to learn to think differently. It's not that business needs to learn to think differently. It's that we need to learn to think differently about women in business. They can be massively successful, but there's a different set of rules. And Bev knows those rules, and she's been very successful. Now it's just a matter of helping her teach women in all industries all over the world. And Rosanna's got the systems, the tools, the bandwidth, the capability, the technology, the media. She's got all of that to be able to do it. Cool stuff. Elise, anything you got?
No, I don't actually.
All right. So we have, there's just, you can tell learn to earn is so exciting. It's so much more exciting than being in the classroom and going through the mechanics of stuff. It's like getting in the field and saying, okay, does this stuff really work? Like what works, what doesn't work, and how do you bring all of this together? If you have any questions on anything we covered today, feel free to connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300. Or if you're calling in outside the U.S., you can call the U.S.-based number at 630-393-9909. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. God bless and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.